Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a lovely looking Civic. This is a 1.6 diesel and it's the sport model, finished in this gorgeous but rather naffily named sporty blue metallic. It's a very sought after colour on this car because it just sits so well on the car. It's a little bit early in the morning, so the video doesn't really sort of highlight it in the best possible way, but I've got to do these when they're dry, which is a battle these days. Front of the car, new style front end, looks lovely. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation. Bonnet, very clean indeed. Any stone chips are minuscule. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth in the panel work. There's no sort of obvious big dents jumping out at me. Always looks good. The sports with the black alloys, especially the revised ones like this one with the smoke glass and the diffuser on the back there, just looks fantastic. Come around the back again, all very, very clean indeed. Going to the off side of the car, driver's side, again beautifully smooth. The panels there, can't see any dents jumping out at me at all. Been kept exceptionally well. To the back of the car now, cavernous, absolutely enormous boots. It's been kept in beautiful condition as well. It's coming to the back, wide opening rear doors and an enormous amount of room. And this is where Civics can let themselves down because they are essentially family cars, so they can be heavily used. This one, I think they're band kids on the back because it's in fantastic condition. And on the passenger side, again, lovely clean, full sets of under mats in the car. Passenger seat in super condition. It's finally coming on the driver's side. Door card again, lovely and clean. Same footwell areas. The driver's seat again in super condition, really. So inside the car now, engine's running as always, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, and it's in fantastic condition again. Radio and information display screen there, all working exactly as it should. Just pop the car into reverse, you can see the rear parking camera, which complements the front and rear parking sensors, again working exactly as intended. Coming down the centre, it's just been kept in absolutely fantastic condition. If I come up here for you, hopefully you can see 45,079 miles. And pan back here, and you can see there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. And what a stunning dash that is, absolutely gorgeous. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic, and it's a 1.6 diesel sport. The car is registered, if I can read it, FJ15FTV, and with a mileage of just 45,079 recorded. The reason we do all of these videos, and especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. Unfortunately, like loads of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or the description, only to find out that when you drive the car it's got an obvious fault that shows up, which you'd obviously much rather known about before setting off. So that's why we do it. Also done, by the way, on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is, of course, they'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, it's been very, very well maintained, this vehicle. I think 8 services in total, so done annually rather than on mileage, and it feels it. Engine starts instantly and settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running as a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are simply brilliant diesel engines. Honda always build very tough, very reliable engines, and this is no different. They're cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to worry about on them. But more than that, it's just a lovely, lovely engine to use day in, day out. It's quiet, it's smooth, only really noticeably a diesel at sort of very low revs, and it's low speed. But on the move, it's very, very quiet indeed. and of course incredibly economical, and the economy actually comes pretty easily to these cars. It's not a car that you've got to kind of be thinking about the whole time when you're driving. You do have driver aids. You've got a little gear change prompt on the dashboard, which is quite nice, and you can press an econ button to change the engine mode for more economy as well, which again combined do make a small difference, but it all adds up over the long term. But yeah, fantastic unit. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch of the car, absolutely perfect, smooth, bike point exactly where it's meant to be, and then onto another brilliant Honda gearbox. They always do gearbox as well, always have done. What I love about it, the positioning of the gear lever is perfect. When you change gear, it's reasonably short in throw, but it's got a meaty, satisfying feel to the control. So when you're changing gear, you feel you've got some substance there, even though, like most front-wheel drive cars, it's cable that goes underneath. But unfortunately, some manufacturers seem to then think it's perfectly acceptable to give you a gear change that feels completely detached from the gearbox underneath. This is the polar opposite. It's thoroughly enjoyable to use and feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. And then coming on to my favourite part of these cars, which is the steering and the chassis. It's just a lovely car to drive. If you want to buy the car purely to get you and your family from A to B, but in a very smart looking diesel, it does that perfectly. It's very smooth, it's very comfortable. But for those who still enjoy their driving, it's got another side to its personality. It's just keen. It loves to change direction. The steering is quick, it's precise, very accurate, but beautifully weighted as well. In a world of electric power steering systems where again it just feels detached or light and just horrible, this has meat to it. It's lovely. When you go through corners like the one up here, a little bit quicker than I would do normally, you go into it, turn in, hardly move the wheel at all, and then it's just absolutely wonderful. And the chassis, of course, which they said gives us beautifully supple ride. It's really well judged, but allows you to change direction with vigour, with eagerness. So all types of roads, you can thoroughly enjoy yourself if you want. There are incidentally no noises coming from the suspension. It's smooth and quiet. Steering tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit actually. Brakes on the car, just wait until I'll be a little bit late for my braking here. But a nice solid brake pedal on the car, absolutely no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the pedal. It's all in fine order. And then finally coming inside, which is just a stunning interior. I am biased. I love these Hondas, and I readily accept. I always say that it is the definition of a Marmite interior. You either like it or you don't. What is unarguable is the fact that they are beautifully put together, very nice materials, no squeaks, no rattles, hugely practical. You've got class leading legroom in the back, class leading boot space in the back, you've got the magic seat, so you've got all the practicality in the world. But then in my eyes at least, you've got the best dashboard by a country mile, not only because I think it just looks fantastic, but it works absolutely brilliantly. It's not there just for show, it's quite the opposite. The most conventional part is this centre stack here. That's, obviously you've got your radio and your information display screen there. Also your camera built into it, all working perfectly. Down below that you've got a dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish. We popped that in a warm workshop earlier on. It blows out lovely and cold as well. All of the switchgear, as always is the case with Honda, has a beautifully damped, high quality feel to it, like a really high quality hi-fi, that sort of feel. But then this fantastic two-tier design on the dash display. So the upper deck is the information in theory, you're going to look at most regularly whilst on the move. So what Honda have done is put it up nice and high, all by itself, so you're not having to squint to find that information. So you've got an information display screen up there as well, which you can configure with different information if you want to. But if you were to sort of change your radio, or let's say your fan speed, you've got a little display down here, but a much bigger one comes up there, so you're not having to take eyes off the road. But the gauge that everyone should be looking at most regularly, of course, is your speed. And there it is, all by itself, big, bold, easily. Basically, you can look ahead at the road, and without taking your eyes off the road for a second, you know what speed you're going at. That's how good it is. And then beneath that, you've got these 3 dials, rev counter mounted in the middle, flanked either side by your temperature and fuel gauges. Whoa, crikey me. Well, we know the brakes work then, because the pheasant survived, you'll be pleased to hear, because I'm looking at it in my rearview mirror. Crikey me. But yeah, so yeah, fantastic. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel, which pretty much feels like new in hand. The whole interior, as I said, it's been kept in absolutely superb condition. As I said at the start of the video, the point of these videos is simply so you get to see the car in operation and feedback on any issues at all, of which is genuinely nothing at all. But as much as anything else, it's a stark reminder of just how good these cars are. I know compared to some of their competitors, they're relatively dear, but there is good reason for that. They are fundamentally better at taking the mileages over the long term than any of their competitors, and incredibly reliably so as well. So I'm going to pull over because my control for the video has fallen on the floor during that emergency stop, and I will retrieve it and end the video. So bear with me with this slightly odd finish to the video for a change.